Hey, this is Derek. I'm the children's pastor at Lakewood Christian Center, and I'm going to show you how to do the 3-rope object lesson. There's more than 3 ropes for this trick. The most important one is the long one here, and this rope is about 30 inches long. I got my rope at Lowe's, and it's pretty cheap if you buy it by the yard. You can probably find it at Home Depot or any supply store like that. You just go find it. You just want to find some nice soft rope that can be used. You want to make sure it's a little floppy, not something that's very stiff, so that this looks nice when you do it. Now, like I said, the long piece is about 30 inches long. And you want to cut a short piece that gets you about 3.5 inches more length there. And you're going to use this to measure for the medium piece so that they're equal in length when you have this set up right here. Now, then you have your extra long rope. This is what you end with. This rope is about 70 inches long. It doesn't have to be that exact amount, but that's a good amount to go with. And then I have a second short piece that is the same length as the other. And you can have a third. I'll talk about that later as to why, but I only use 2. And you'll need some kind of ring. This actually goes with linking rings trick, and I've used it all the time for stuff like this. And you can I know I've seen them at Michael's and probably other art stores like that have rings like this. And 2 nuts that are equal in size and shape and color, and then a handkerchief or some kind of cover to cover over when you're doing the trick with the nuts. And that's everything you need for this trick. And we're going to move into how to do it. Okay, now what you need to do before you do your trick, your preparation. You're going to take the extra long rope and the extra short piece that you have, and what you're going to do is make what's going to look like 3 ropes. You're going to take your short piece, just loop it onto the extra long like this, and then bring up your other end. Now these are equal. Now you just need to take the other short piece, set it on here, and then pull until it is equal. It doesn't need to be perfect, but you want to get it pretty close. So once you get that, you can take off the other piece, and if you made the third, this is where you can leave the third in there and just leave it hanging. And what you want to do is take the end that's looped, the short piece, and just knot it on there. Just a standard overhand knot, sorry. Like so. You want to keep the measurements all right. So when you set it, where you're going to set it is somewhere lower than where you're doing the trick. What I did is I set it on the podium, underneath the podium on a shelf, so that this end, this loop, stuck out. And that's important whether you have an extra piece inside there, a third piece inside there, or not. You want that to stick out. And that's all the preparation besides having these other ropes. Okay, now the tricks with the long rope, not the extra long rope, the long rope of the other 3 that you have. The first one is the very fast knot, where I did the little joke that the rope was knotty. what you're going to do is you just take the rope, put it over your hand like this where it's between your thumb and index finger. Just let it rest like that. And it's good if they're about equal. You want to bring your pinky around the rope that's going in front inside your hand like this. You reach down and you're going to use your index finger and your middle finger to grab the rope that's in the back side like this. And then all you have to do is pull your fingers through the loop that's made, and this knot gets made. Sorry, that was my son. I'm going to do it again for you. Pinky, you come down, grab the rope, and then just drop it, let it drop through, and it'll tie the knot. And when you do that quick, as you're talking, you'll talk as you've got your pinky down, and then you just shake your hand. And you want to practice that a lot so you can get it to where it works really nice. You may find that it works better with the front end longer, which I have a hard time grabbing it, or you may find that it works better with the back end longer. Either way, just practice until you feel comfortable with it. Now, for the next part with the nuts, you've got two nuts that are the same size. You're going to say, your friend's a little nutty. You put the nut on there. You're going to cover that with the sheet. When you do that, you're going to reach under there and make sure that you've got some people that are holding the ends. But when you cover this up, what you're actually going to do is you're going to go under and you're going to grab this nut, bend the rope like this, so that you can take the extra nut you have, and you're going to press it onto the rope. You'll grab the ropes and you'll tell them that you've got it. So you'll come out and you're holding the ropes now, and the nut is here, hidden under my hand. And all you have to do is pull, and that nut is going to fall off. You've already got this one in your hand, so you just, excuse me, getting this other one. So then you talk about how God forgives them, and that comes off. He's not worried about it. So that's that one. Another one with the ring. The knot that you're actually tying is the same knot as if you were to take the rope like this and wrap it around and push the ends through the loop. But you're going to do it. This is much faster. What you do the loop like this. You're going to bring the rope through the ring here and hold it so that the rope is actually going inside the ring. When you grab the ring, you're not grabbing it out here. You're actually reaching through the rope here and grabbing the ring from inside. And when you pull that, it grabs onto the ring. And of course, when you do that quickly, it ends up looking like the ring just kind of grasps onto the rope. And you're already set to do the next thing. You just press these down to where they're on each side of it. Looks like it's nice and trapped. You want to make sure that this part of the rope, where it loops down on each side, is up on the top side. If that's on the top side, you can now pull on the ring and it undoes the knot that you just tied. Same principle with putting it on is taking it off, and you can just yank it right off. So that's how to do those with that rope. And the next thing we're going to do is the 3 ropes. The 3 ropes, you're going to take the shortest rope you have. As you talk about it, you're going to put it in first between your thumb and your index finger. Then you take the medium-sized rope, and it goes in between your thumb and your index finger. You want to make sure the ends, as you put them on, end up equal. And then finally, the rope that you've been doing all these other tricks with, which is, to everyone in the audience, the longest rope. Then what you're going to do is you're going to go the opposite way. You're going to start with the longest rope and bring it up and set it down at the end, beside itself. What I like to do with the medium here is I like to reach behind the long and grab the medium and lift it up and set it down beside the long. And the reason I like to do that is because for the next part you have to reach into the loop of the long piece of rope to grab the shortest piece. So you're reaching in and grabbing the short piece. And as you bring this short piece up, you don't set it beside the long, you want to set it over here and make it the third end in the lineup. So this first one is the short rope. This one is the medium. This is the other end of the short. This one here is the medium. Sorry, this one here's the long, and this one here's the long, and this one here's the medium. So short, medium, short, long, long, medium. And now you can grab these 3 here, and these 3 in the other hand. And as you're pulling, that long piece loops through the short. And then you can drop. You can drop these. And now you can see that these would be equal. And you can actually, if you get this right in your hand, under the cover of your thumb, you can actually turn your hand to show the audience that these are equal. But from here, it looks great. 3 equal ropes. And now we're going to see what we're going to do with this to get the ending. So now we're here. We've got our 3 ropes. They're equal in length. And the first thing you're going to do is you've got to make sure that the long rope that you prepared earlier is underneath where you're set for 2 reasons. One is if you made 2 short ropes, and the other is so that you can transfer them later. And the first thing you're going to do is flip this rope around. So you're going to reach up, come down the rope, and you're going to flip it around. So you need something that's going to cover the bottom of this. I had the podium that I was using. And so as you drop it, this comes down. And you're holding this end. This end still has the short loop on the end, or the short rope on the end. What you want to happen is, underneath the podium, what I did is this was hanging off the end. And as I was tying the top, I brought this down so it transferred the short rope onto this pre-made set rope here. And in a minute we'll switch to that. But then you take these ropes, and it doesn't really matter how you do it. Just take 2 of the ropes and tie them in a knot. When you get that tied in a knot, of course all this under cover of whatever you've got, some kind of podium or something. And as you reach down this time, you're going to come down like you did before, but you're going to reach below where you were. Of course mine's over here right now. But you're going to reach below. You're just going to drop this rope like this. Wouldn't land in your hand because as you come down, you're going to switch ropes to this one, the other set. course, mine looks a little funny because this one's so much longer, but they couldn't really tell. And then you're going to take this, where you've looped on the small one, and tie that one into a knot. Should look much like it did earlier when you tied the other knot. And the other knot is down here already, where you tied it before. Then you can drop each piece, and now it looks like you have 3 ropes tied together to make one. And each rope looks like it's in equal length. And so you've got a clean take from the 3 different size ropes to 3 equal length ropes that are tied together. And then you just take them into your hand. And in doing this, you're just going to wrap it around your hand here. And as you come to the knots with this hand, you're going to grab the knot. Make sure you pull those ends in, because I've got very bright colored ends, so it's easy to tell if they poked out. So you just keep pulling that around, and as the knots come in, you're grasping them into your hand like this. And you keep pulling and keep pulling until you get it all the way through like this. And you bring their attention here. Of course, I wear a blazer, a coat right here. What I could do is put it into my blazer, or I was standing behind the podium, so I just drop this underneath into the podium. This here. You want to get rid of these knots. And then all you have to do is pull this off your hand. And now you're to one solid rope, where you started off from 3 different size ropes. And that's how you do it. Enjoy it.